He said, she's pregnant. Denise Huxtable is not pregnant. Lisa Bonet is pregnant, not Denise. So no, you can't have it. No, we're not going to do it. No.
Behind the wholesome image of Hillman College was a show on the verge of collapse. Before it became a cultural icon, A Different World was a creative disaster plagued by on-set mistreatment, secret power struggles, and a shocking purge that nearly took it off the air for good. The battle for the show's soul was more dramatic than anything you ever saw on screen, and the secrets have been buried for decades. Until now. Secret 1. The show wasn't for Denise.
It's about courtesy. Now I have to go to the bursar tomorrow.
Stevie, I'm sorry. I promise it'll never happen again.
Seems I've heard that before.
Well, one of these days it's going to be true.
The show that became a beacon of black culture was never supposed to be about Denise Huxtable. The very first idea for A Different World was completely different. Producers wanted to tell the story of a white student attending a historically black college, or HBCU. The lead role of Maggie Lawton was even given to a rising star named Meg Ryan. But just before filming, she dropped out to chase a movie career, a move that would change television history forever. With their star gone, producers scrambled and decided to change the entire show. They retooled it to follow Denise Huxtable, the popular daughter from The Cosby Show, as she went off to college. The role of her white roommate, Maggie, was made much smaller and given to a young actress named Marisa Tomei. The show's entire identity, a story about the black experience at an HBCU, was a last-minute fix. But this shaky foundation was about to crack. Secret 2. The disastrous first pilot.
I never, ever do anything anywhere with anybody.
Let me see this.
Gotcha.
Oh!
With the new concept centered on Denise, the production was rushed and chaotic. After filming 4 full episodes, the network and producers were horrified. They hated what they saw so much that they threw everything in the trash and started over. They were in a panic. With the premiere date just 6 weeks away, they hired a new producer, Ann Beats, and gave her an impossible task. She had to create a brand new pilot episode from scratch and save the entire show before it even aired. The show that millions would come to love was born from a last-ditch rescue mission, and the chaos behind the scenes was just getting started. This desperate scramble to fix the show would explain why the first season felt so lost and confused. But the problems went far beyond a weak script. Secret 3. Everyone hated Season 1.
How'd you get yours so full?
It's all in your technique. I always use short but steady puffs of air.
Whitley, do you need me to blow up any more balloons for you?
The show finally made it to the air, and thanks to its perfect time slot right after The Cosby Show, the ratings were huge. But the critics were brutal. They called the first season boring, humorless, and unrealistic. One review called it a calamitously drab show, while another said it was a big yawn. On the review site Rotten Tomatoes, the first season has a terrible score of just 11%. Even viewers felt something was wrong. Many people said it felt like a show made by someone who had never been to an HBCU, with one person describing it as what a white person thought an HBCU was like. The show was a hit on paper, but in reality, it was a failure that was completely missing the heart and soul of the world it was supposed to represent. While critics were tearing the show apart in public, things were even worse behind the scenes. Secret 4. Lisa Bonet's on-set nightmare.
3 well-oiled cops working together to steal that...
She, choked on a balloon.
Oh, what a shame we're running low.
The star of the show, Lisa Bonet, was allegedly being treated horribly on her own set. Her co-star, Jasmine Guy, who played Whitley Gilbert, later called the environment during that first season whack. She said she hated the way producers were treating Lisa Bonet. According to Guy, producers would disrespect and belittle the young star right in front of the live studio audience. Guy described them getting all up in Lisa's face, pointing at her and demanding she just say her lines. The atmosphere was so tense and hostile that Lisa Bonet felt she had to hire her own security just to feel safe at work. The pressure and disrespect were becoming unbearable, and it wasn't just Lisa who felt it. Her co-star was watching everything, and she was about to do something drastic. Secret 5. Jasmine Guy tried to quit.
I'm Russell Huxtable, Hillman class of 1935. Oh, this is Dr. Cordell Overby. As you can see, he has no class.
Jasmine Guy was so disgusted by the way Lisa Bonet and other actors like Sinbad were being treated that she decided she couldn't be a part of it anymore. During that chaotic first season, she walked up to the producers and gave her 2-week notice, ready to quit the show. She told them that disrespecting one cast member was the same as disrespecting all of them. She said, "If it happens to her, it happens to me." You are disrespecting the cast. It was a brave move, but the producers wouldn't let her go. She had signed a 6-year contract and they refused to release her. Jasmine Guy was trapped. The show was a critical failure with a toxic environment, and it seemed like things couldn't get any worse. But then, a piece of news from Lisa Bonet's personal life would change everything, forcing a showdown that would either save the show or destroy it forever. Secret 6. The pregnancy that forced a war.
You're Denise's grandfather. Let me say it is a thrill to meet the man who created Denise.
During the summer break after that terrible first season, Lisa Bonet announced that she and her husband, musician Lenny Kravitz, were expecting their first child. That baby would grow up to be the famous actress Zoe Kravitz. This news, which should have been a happy moment, instead became the spark that lit a fire. It created a massive conflict behind the scenes that would force the show's creators to make a choice. This single real-life event would become the ultimate test of what A Different World was truly about and who really held the power. Secret 7. Debbie Allen's vision versus Cosby's rules.
Well, Denise, it was a date. I haven't gone out in, 2 years.
2 years?
6 years, if you count my marriage.
As the show was preparing for its second season, a new creative force arrived. Her name was Debbie Allen, a legendary director and choreographer who was hired to fix the failing series. When she heard about Lisa Bonet's pregnancy, she saw it as a gift. She wanted to write it into the show, believing it would be a groundbreaking and powerful story. She imagined telling the story of an upper-class, unmarried college student having a baby, something that young women everywhere could relate to. But Bill Cosby, the creator of the show, had a very different idea. He was fiercely protective of the perfect image of the Huxtable family. He absolutely refused to let the character of Denise be pregnant. His decision was final. He famously told the producers, "Lisa Bonet is pregnant, but Denise Huxtable is not." It was a battle between realism and image, and Cosby's control over his brand won. His decision led to a shocking and unprecedented move. Secret 8. Fired from her own show.
I'm sorry, but this section is closed.
Closed, but I already dropped my women's studies class for this.
Because Bill Cosby would not allow Denise Huxtable to be a pregnant college student, the show's producers made a stunning decision. They fired Lisa Bonet from the very show that was created for her. After just one season, the main star was gone. The writers explained her absence by saying Denise had dropped out of Hillman College. Lisa Bonet was eventually brought back to The Cosby Show after her baby was born, but the tension remained. In 1991, she was fired from that show too, with the official reason being creative differences. The removal of the show's central character was a massive gamble. It severed the main link to The Cosby Show and left a huge hole at the center of a different world. But the shakeup was far from over. A purge was coming for the rest of the cast. Secret 9. The future Oscar winner who got the axe. With Lisa Bonet gone, the network decided to clean house. They wanted to get rid of any reminders of the failed first season. That meant Marisa Tomei, who played Denise's roommate Maggie, was also let go. What's truly shocking is that the new producer, Debbie Allen, actually wanted to keep her. Allen had exciting ideas for Marisa's character. She wanted to explore racism from a new angle, even pitching a story where Dwayne Wayne would take Maggie home to meet his parents, who would be shocked to see their son with a white girl. But the network said no. They rejected Allen's ideas and fired Marisa Tomei anyway. Just a few years later, Marisa would prove them all wrong by winning an Academy Award for her role in the movie My Cousin Vinny. The decision to remove her showed just how determined the network was to completely restart, even if it meant ignoring the ideas of their new creative leader. Secret 10. The Vanishing Dorm Mother.
Her parents are getting a divorce. Oh, wow. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Me too.
Could you pass me a popcorn chain, please?
The casting purge didn't stop with the students. Loretta Devine, the talented actress who played the dorm mother Stevie Rowland in the first season, also disappeared without a trace. One season she was a main character, and the next she was gone. Jasmine Guy remembered how scary and uncertain that time was for the cast. She said, "People were getting fired. Everybody was walking on eggshells." The message was clear. The old version of A Different World was dead. This ruthless overhaul wiped the slate clean, creating a chance for something new to be born from the ashes. And at the center of it all was Debbie Allen, who now had the freedom to build the show she always wanted. Secret 11. Debbie Allen's Mission.
I certainly hope you haven't been making slush of everybody's white Christmas with details of my broken home.
They made me tell.
With the old cast gone, Debbie Allen stepped in with a clear mission: make the show real. As a graduate of Howard University, one of the most famous HBCUs in the country, she knew exactly what was missing. She famously said that the first season had no hot sauce on the table, and that her job was to make the show relevant, cultural, and authentic. She wasn't just a producer, she was someone who had lived the Hillman experience. That personal connection gave her the vision and the power to begin a complete transformation, turning a fake, lifeless sitcom into a true reflection of Black college life. Her first move was to fix the show's biggest problem, the writer's room. Secret 12. The writers go back to college.
Mom and Daddy haven't been connubial for quite some time now. They just stayed together for my sake.
Well, that is pretty sad.
Debbie Allen quickly discovered a huge problem. In a writer's room of about 10 people creating a show about a black college, only 2 of the writers were actually black. She knew their writing wasn't ringing true because they had no real experience with the culture. So she did something unheard of. She sent the entire writing staff back to school. Every year, she would take them on field trips to Spelman and Morehouse colleges in Atlanta. There, they would talk to real students and professors, learning about the real issues, the real fashion, and the real conversations happening on campus. This wasn't just a suggestion, it was a requirement. This deep research became the new foundation for the show, ensuring that the stories they told were grounded in truth, not stereotypes. Secret 13. A soulful new sound.
Well, good luck with your silent partner.
In the words of Mark Twain, better to be silent and just be a fool than to speak and prove it.
To signal to the world that the show had changed, Debbie Allen made a powerful symbolic move. She changed the theme song. The first season's theme was sung by artist Phoebe Snow. For season 2, Allen brought in a true legend, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Hearing Aretha's powerful voice at the start of every episode was a bold declaration. It told the audience that this was a new show, one that was proud, soulful, and unapologetically black. What many people don't know is that the famous theme song was also co-written by one of the show's own cast members, Dawn Lewis, who played Jaleesa. Secret 14. The secret behind Dwayne's glasses.
Oh, Teddy. Frankie.
Freddie.
Freddie. I knew it was a guy's name.
While Debbie Allen was transforming the show, one of its most iconic elements was actually a holdover from the chaotic first season. Dwayne Wayne's famous flip-up sunglasses were the idea of the original producer, Ann Beats. She wanted to find a unique accessory that would make the nerdy math student stand out from the other guys on campus. She found her inspiration in a surprising place. She went to a David Bowie concert and saw his guitarist, Carlos Alomar, wearing a pair of flip-top glasses. She knew instantly that was the look for Dwayne. It was one of the few creative choices from the first season that not only survived the purge, but went on to become a legendary part of pop culture. Secret 15. Whitley's stolen accent.
Do you want to dance?
Me dance with you? The air must be very thin up there.
The show's other breakout star, Whitley Gilbert, also had a surprising origin story. Actress Jasmine Guy didn't even want the part at first. She originally auditioned for the role of the more serious and mature Jaleesa. When she was asked to read for Whitley, she had no idea how to play a rich Southern belle. So she decided to try something that used to make her friends laugh when she was a little girl. She did an imitation of her third-grade teacher, Mrs. Pinkard, who had a very strong and exaggerated Southern accent. The producers loved it, and one of television's most unforgettable characters was born from a childhood joke. Secret 16. The romance that saved the show.
You're in high gear tonight, baby. I know. It's my cologne layering technique. I combined 4 different fragrances and came up with one stinky one.
With Denise Huxtable gone, A Different World needed a new heart. Debbie Allen and the writers decided to build the entire series around the unlikely relationship between 2 supporting characters from the first season, the spoiled, snooty Whitley Gilbert and the nerdy, kind-hearted Dwayne Wayne. Allen had one simple rule for their love story. She believed that the man who could win Whitley's heart wasn't the richest or most handsome guy, but the one who could truly make her laugh. This focus on their chemistry and their long, complicated journey from rivals to soulmates became the emotional core of the show. It gave viewers a reason to tune in week after week, proving that the new ensemble cast was far more powerful than the original plan for a single star. But as Whitley and Dwayne were falling in love on screen, a very different and very secret romance was happening behind the camera. Secret 17. Dwayne's real crush on Whitley.
Whitley, I don't know what you've done to yourself tonight, but let's...
Oh, zip it and let's dance.
Really?
Better you than some salamander.
The amazing chemistry between Dwayne and Whitley wasn't entirely fictional, at least not at first. Kadeem Hardison, the actor who played Dwayne, admitted that he had a real crush on Jasmine Guy from the very beginning. They had worked together on the movie School Days right before A Different World, and he was smitten. He even told a story about how, during a party, he asked the musician to secretly play a slow song a second time, just so he could have one more dance with her. This early connection between the actors laid the groundwork for the believable and beloved romance their characters would later share. But Kadeem's heart would soon belong to someone else on the set. Secret 18. The secret on-set couple.
Oh, thou Dwayne.
Oh, thou, Freddie, thou willst be late for thine job interview.
While millions of fans were watching Dwayne Wayne try to win the heart of Whitley Gilbert, the actor Kadeem Hardison was in a serious real-life relationship with another co-star, Cree Summer, the actress who played the free-spirited Freddie Brooks. They started as best friends on set, and their friendship eventually blossomed into a year-long romance. Cree later said that Kadeem was the perfect first love, calling him the blueprint for a great boyfriend because of how kind and thoughtful he was. This secret relationship added a hidden layer of complexity to the show, as the three actors at the center of the show's main love triangle were navigating a real-life romance that the audience knew nothing about. Secret 19. Kadim's toughest acting job.
They say our generation is apathetic, self-centered, materialistic. But just look at us.
Do you know where I can plug in my electric blanket?
This secret romance created a huge challenge for Kadim Hardison. Every day, he had to go to work and perform passionate, romantic scenes with Jasmine Guy while his actual girlfriend, Cree Summer, was often standing just a few feet away. He later spoke about how difficult this was, saying, "I had to pretend to be in love with Jasmine while being in love with Cree." He even joked that Jasmine was his work wife, while Cree was his home wife, who also happened to be his co-worker. The couple eventually broke up before the show ended, a situation Kadim described as tough, since they still had to see each other and work together every day. His ability to create one of TV's most iconic couples while navigating this complicated personal situation is a testament to his professionalism. Secret 20. The Hidden Kiss. Kadim and Cree were so good at keeping their relationship private that most fans had no idea they were a couple until decades later. But they did leave one clue behind, hidden in plain sight. Years after the show ended, a fan on Twitter was rewatching an episode and noticed something shocking in the background of a scene. For a brief moment, Kadim Hardison and Cree Summer could be seen sharing a real kiss. When the fan posted the clip, Cree replied, "We thought we were slick." Kadim jokingly added, "I'd say we were, only took 'em 25 years to catch up." The secret was right there on our screens the entire time, a hidden piece of the show's true story. While the cast was navigating their own dramas, the show itself was about to take its biggest risks yet, tackling issues so controversial they nearly got banned from television. Secret 21. The episode that scared advertisers. In 1991, A Different World made a brave decision. It became the first primetime network show to create an episode about the HIV and AIDS epidemic, a topic that was surrounded by fear and misinformation at the time. The episode, titled "If I Should Die Before I Wake," was considered so dangerous and controversial that the show's advertisers got scared. One by one, they began pulling their money from the broadcast, threatening to leave the episode with no funding to air. The network was getting nervous, and it looked like the show's most important episode ever might not see the light of day. Debbie Allen knew she had to do something drastic to save it. Secret 22. Whoopi Goldberg, the secret weapon.
Nice outfit.
Well, thank you.
Won't do a thing for your grade.
With the episode in jeopardy, Debbie Allen made a phone call to her friend, who just happened to be one of the biggest stars in the world, Whoopi Goldberg. Allen asked Whoopi if she would guest star in the episode as a professor, hoping her star power would give the network and the advertisers the confidence they needed. Whoopi immediately said yes. Allen later called her the show's secret weapon. With Whoopi on board, the advertisers came back, and the episode was saved. It went on to become the highest-rated episode in the show's history. Allen believes that Whoopi's decision to help them made it possible to save millions of lives by spreading awareness and fighting ignorance. Secret 23. The No Means No episode.
I wasn't that eloquent.
It's not, but very persuasive.
Maybe some things do change.
The girl won't last a month in my room.
The show's courage didn't stop there. In the second season, they aired an episode titled No Means No, which dealt with the difficult subject of date rape and consent. The story focused on the sweet and naive Freddie Brooks, who goes on a date with an aggressive athlete who refuses to take no for an answer. At a time when these topics were rarely discussed on television, the episode was praised for its responsible and honest approach. It directly challenged dangerous myths about consent and showed the importance of supporting survivors who often blame themselves. It was another example of the show using its platform to educate its young audience on a serious real-world issue. Secret 24, the shocking racism episode.
I could not sleep thinking about this game. 2 undefeated teams for the conference championship? That's gonna be like good sex, man. Maybe you should skip the game and see a counselor.
A Different World never shied away from the reality of racism, but one episode took it to a level rarely seen in a sitcom. The episode, called Cats in the Cradle, showed 2 of its main characters, Ron and Dwayne, getting into a confrontation with racist white students after a football game. The conflict turns ugly when the white students spray paint a horrible racial slur on Ron's car. Putting its beloved characters in the face of such direct and violent hatred was a shocking and powerful moment for primetime television. While some people today criticize the episode for suggesting both sides were partly to blame, it was a raw and unflinching look at hate crimes that forced an uncomfortable but necessary conversation into the living rooms of millions of Americans. Secret 25, the legendary guest star.
And I'm gonna take advice from you after you've been chased around by Yolanda all day? Yo, man, that's only because I didn't have my ginseng tea this morning, all right?
In its final season, the show welcomed a guest star who would soon become a global icon, the rapper Tupac Shakur. He played the role of Piccolo, the rough-around-the-edges ex-boyfriend of Jada Pinkett Smith's character, Lena. What made the episode so special was the real-life history between the two. Jada and Tupac were childhood friends, and their chemistry on-screen was electric. Kadeem Hardison later admitted that he was in awe of Tupac's natural acting ability. He said he was jealous of his talent and that every scene he and Jada did together was pure magic. The episode captured a unique moment in time, forever preserving the connection between 2 future legends and cementing the show's deep ties to hip-hop culture. From a failed pilot to a cultural phenomenon, A Different World fought for its survival and its soul. It transformed from a bland spin-off into a brave and authentic voice for a generation. The secret battles, the personal dramas, and the courageous decisions made behind the scenes are what turned a simple sitcom into a timeless legacy, proving that the most powerful stories are the ones that dare to be real.